Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Abby and I like to knit and crochet and do a bunch of other crafty things. Today I am filming my late WIP Wednesday, or Fifth Thursday, as I heard on TikTok a couple weeks ago and I really liked. Yesterday I stayed too late in lab. I did not forget this. I just stayed in my school research lab until 9 p.m., which is also my bedtime, so I had to go to bed instead of filming and editing a video. But I have time now. It's Thursday. It's only one day late. I'm not sure that anyone was really waiting for this moment, but that's okay. Today I'm going to go through my WIPs. I think I have 5. Yep. I have 5 with me. I hope I only have 5. And I'm going to do them in order of the least progress made since the last video to the most progress made since the last video. So that means that we are starting with my Lakes Cardigan, yep, by Ozetta, which I have made no progress on. This is what it looks like right now. You can see I still need to do the sleeves, I need to do the button band and the collar, but the body is all done. I bound off with the tubular bind off. I think it could have been a little bit neater. Oh well. I'm pretty sure I haven't worked on this at all since the last video that I filmed, which I think was 3 weeks ago. I did look for buttons for it at my parents' when I was visiting, but tomorrow I'm going to my grandmother's and I think I'm going to bring it with me and see if she has any buttons that I like with this. This light brown color it's not red enough to match a lot of the buttons that I find that I like the style of, or I can find plastic buttons that just feel weird that I like the look of, but I don't like the feel of. So I'm just waiting to find the perfect buttons for this, and hopefully I'll find them at my grandmother's. If not, I'll try to go find a store that I can go into in person that has a bunch of buttons for me to look at. We'll see what ends up happening. I think before I do that I can knit the sleeves, but I don't want to knit the button band before I find the buttons, just in case they're a different size to what the pattern recommends, so that I can do the math about how to make the buttonholes. And I think the collar is the last step. It goes, I think, around the button band too, so after the sleeves I won't be able to work on this until I find buttons. That's okay, but that's my update for that. My next one, if I had filmed this yesterday, we actually wouldn't have had any updates on, same as the Lake Cardigan, but this is my Billie Pullover, and as you can see I finally started the second sleeve. I did this today at work because all of my coworkers were gone and my manager was gone, and I could not do the one task that I have. I'm an intern, so I don't have full range of use for all of the instruments. I need people to I need people to log into the instrument so that I can run my samples. And I need to run my samples before I do any other lab work. So I didn't have all that much to do, so I'm 3 or 4 rows in, but I finally started, and that is progress. This is what it looks like so far. I'm pretty happy with it. I think the sleeve could be a little bit shorter. I'm not a fan of sleeves that go down over my wrist. I like them to stop right where I have my hair tie, and because it's superwash, I do think they'll stretch a little bit long. I can always make them shorter though, and I think that the way that I did it is smart so that I don't lose yarn chicken, because this took up pretty much exactly 2 balls of yarn. Yeah, I had that much left over, and I have 2.5 balls left, and I need to do the collar and the other sleeve. So it should be, knock on wood, the perfect amount of yarn. to finish the project. We'll see, but hopefully. Now this project is my last knitting project. It is my Keyhole Scarf, and I've actually made a lot of progress on it since the last time. I think the last time I filmed this was before I went to my parents' house, and I had maybe about until here done. Clearly I've made a lot more progress. I'm on like the little loopy bit that makes it like a keyhole. I did shorten this bottom part by 5 inches, not because I want it shorter, but because I'm not sure if I would have enough yarn to do the loop long enough for the scarf to fit through it, as well as having the 5 extra inches that I cut off. I think even if I ran out of yarn right now, it would be an okay length scarf, and I'm just going to knit this part of it, the like loop part that's flat, until I run out of yarn, and I think that'll give it another maybe 3 inches. I think I'm at the point where like I could technically stop the loop. I'm supposed to have about 8 inches on either side. I think this is probably closer to 6 or 7, but the scarf fits through it, so it's okay. But I still have this much yarn left. I may as well use all of the yarn in my mind. I don't have any other use for like a quarter of a like 25 grams of yarn. That's my best guess. I don't have like one of those little scales. I don't have like a little kitchen scale or anything to weigh it out on, but I'm guessing like 25 grams of each is what's left. But again, I should be able to get maybe this much further, maybe more. Maybe like this much further, which should make it a perfectly fine length for scarf. I'm not the biggest fan of knitting flat. I'm not the biggest fan of doing the selvage edge that's on it, if I'm being honest. It just doesn't click with my brain very well. But it did go pretty fast. I spent a lot of time on airplanes working on it, so I got a lot of progress, and it just needs to be done by Christmas. I'm hoping to finish it soon, just so that I don't have to think about it anymore. Like I can put it in the box of stuff that goes home with me. Like I check that box and pack everything in it because I know it's supposed to go home with me. And I can like put it in there and forget about it until I go home next. Then my next two are both crochet projects, and they're both the market bag. This is like the style of market bag that I'm doing with both of them. This was my first one. I pretty much free-handed it. The only thing that I wasn't happy about is like the straps get really floppy, and I think it's because my chaining for like the base of the straps is really, really tight. So for these two, I'm going to go up like either a 1/2 millimeter or a full millimeter for the chain, so that I don't have like the same tension difference issue that I think is making the straps look kind of like bad. So the first one I'm doing is 2 strands of fingering weight cotton, the drops saffron, held double on a 4mm crochet hook. It's a really large bag. When I was telling my mom about the market bags, she seemed really excited by them. Excited's a strong word, but she seemed vaguely interested, so I thought that she would like one, and we do eat a lot of fruit there, and she does like a farmer's market. So I was thinking that making her like a large market bag would be useful, and it would also use this yarn that I was going to make a garment out of. I had 6 balls of it, but I don't like knitting with cotton. I don't like crochet garments, really. I like crocheting with cotton, so it just kind of didn't work out as what I was planning for it, but this seems like a perfectly reasonable way to use it. I haven't made a ton of progress on this, and I did technically start it, I think, in the last video, but I don't think I showed you it, which is why it's in this last part, also so that I could keep the knits and crochets like kind of separate. but it is not going as fast as the first one I made, or this market bag. It's in this like fuzzy orange yarn. I think this is one of my funniest ideas, kind of. Not really, but a little bit. Because one of my friends is obsessed with Gritty. If you don't know Gritty, he's the mascot for the Philadelphia Flyers. And he's like this, it's like very similar to like the Philly Fanatic for the Phillies, the baseball team for Philadelphia. I don't know why we have such weird mascots, but we do. And he's like this orange color, maybe a little bit brighter, with like an even brighter yellower orange face, and obviously wearing like a Flyers jersey. But my friend's obsessed. I'm going to make this, and she also goes to farmers markets, so I think that she'll have use for this. The yarn is super soft. It is the most painful thing I've ever worked with in terms of like doing single crochets though, because you can't see your stitches at all. Like I can hold this so close and like you can see every strand of the fuzz and maybe my hair, I don't know, hopefully not. But like it's hard to see the stitches at all. So not the best to work with for that part. I do like the mesh. So what I think I'm going to do for the handles is I brought back some black acrylic yarn, and the jersey that Gritty wears is white, black and white, and then there's like the Flyers logo, which technically has some red. But I think if I do the straps black, it'll still be like thematically Gritty, even if it's not fully Gritty color. The other thing is I bought only 3 balls of this yarn, and I've already used 2. This is my last ball of yarn, so it's not going to be enough to make the full bag this color anyway, so we're just going to pretend that I planned it all out and make it. Then in future plans for the market bag, I am going to make a Philly Fanatic themed one, because my aunt and uncle are huge fans of the Philadelphia Phillies and the Fanatic, and I think that like a green market bag in this fuzz with like cotton yarn in like the bright red Phillies color. I will put a picture right here, and I'll have like Gritty here and the Fanatic over here so that you can see like what kind of crazy creatures. So Gritty and then the Fanatic somewhere over there. You'll see they're creatures, but they are really fun. I have people who are obsessed with them. This yarn is perfectly fine to do the mesh with, because you don't have to be like seeing to do it, if that makes sense. And it's really fast. I'm doing it on a 5mm crochet hook. I think this yarn is technically a bulky weight yarn, but it is like really thin, like the bulk of it is really thin, like more of a fingering weight. But because of all of the fuzz, and the fuzz gets like kind of caught in your stitches, it does make it like solid, even though I'm using the 5mm. I started this 2 days ago. In the first day I got through I started it 2 days ago, but at night, and then yesterday I got through 2 full balls of yarn pretty much, and started this 3rd one, and maybe I'll finish it today. But I am also going, not on a road trip exactly, but on a trip where I'll be in the car for a long time, tomorrow and Saturday. Yeah, and I can't knit in the car, but I think I could pull off crocheting in the car. I get really car sick, so if I have to look at all, it doesn't work out very well, but I think that I can crochet mesh in the car. I'm gonna try it. It might go badly. I might keep you updated, or I might not. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this with black straps. And that is the end of all of my WIPs. I have only increased since I started this series the number of WIPs that I have. But honestly, I think that's okay. 2 of them are crochet. the one gritty bag is gonna go so fast. The other bag is going slow, but it's like a good project to have. Again, I do not need to have that finished for forever. The scarf is gonna be done on time, and the thing that I really wanted to make progress on, which is this sweater, because after I finish this sweater, I'm allowed to cast on new stuff, specifically the obsidian pullover in this pink yarn, or sweater number 15 in this pink yarn. It looks like I have an obsession with this color of yarn. This I ordered on purpose, this I got on accident. So don't blame me. Don't blame me of being obsessed with light pink. But one of those two projects will be my next one. And I'm really excited to cast on and get going on a new project. I will say that my wrists are really sore. I've been crocheting and knitting like obsessively, so I do think that tomorrow while I'm at work I'm going to ban myself from doing any sort of knitting or crocheting. I have a lot of computer work that could be done both for my like intern work as well as my research work, and also for applying to grad schools and stuff, and I should be spending a lot more time on that and a lot less time knitting and crocheting, but it's hard to convince myself to do that, so I think that I'm going to have to force myself to take a break for my wrist and to take a break so that I can actually get work that needs to get done. But after that, I'll be back on it, guys. I won't fall off the knitting and crochet train, I promise. Alright, well, thank you so much for coming and watching. I hope you enjoyed the WIPs. Let me know what your WIPs are if you would like to down in the comments. And I will see you the next time that I post a video. Alright guys, bye!